Let's consider fragmentation pattern of ketone and other carbonyl compound ketone which have R group, alkyl group on both sides. In case of aldehyde, alkyl group was present on one side and other side there was hydrogen. But in case of ketone, on both sides, alkyl group is present. So fragmentation pattern of ketone, it is exactly like aldehyde. Mean once one chain it is fragmented by alpha bond cleavage, alpha bond cleavage, and second time second R group it is fragmented by this alpha bond cleavage, and third time again if gamma hydrogen is present then we will perform McLafty rearrangement. So let's bombard electron on aldehyde. On aldehyde, when electrons are bombarded, just like on ketone, while electrons are bombarded, just like aldehyde, electron it is removed from oxygen. Lone pair electron it is removed from this position. Now, once we will fragment one R chain, this one alkyl group, and second time we will fragment second alkyl chain. So I am giving this alkyl chain name R1 and this as R2. So that I can just represent R1 and R2 instead of this whole chain. So let's fragment first R1. When R1 is fragmented, this electron it is transferred here, it's here, and by homolytic cleavage this R1 CH3 CH2 radical, this CH3 CH2 radical, it is released and remaining moiety is CH3 CH2 CH2 carbon triple bond oxygen, and in similar pattern double bond it is shifted toward oxygen and we got a carbocation at 71 mass. Now its molecular mass, molecular ion it have peak at 100, molecular ion peak will be at 100, and this peak which is obtained after removal of one alkyl chain it is obtained at 71. Now second time we will fragment second alkyl chain. Once we have fragmented one alkyl chain, now we are going to fragment the second alkyl chain. Now again in similar pattern a homolytic cleavage occur, and as a result of this homolytic cleavage this bond got fragmented and this R chain R2, I am giving the name R2 to this chain, CH3 CH2 CH2 radical, it is released in the form of radical and remaining moiety is CH3 CH2 triple bond carbon, and again like aldehyde and like this double bond is transferred toward oxygen and we got this carbocation. This carbocation have molecular mass 57. Now third time again we will see either gamma hydrogen is present. If gamma hydrogen is present, we will perform McLafty. If gamma hydrogen is present on one side, we will perform one McLafty. If gamma hydrogen is present on both sides, we will perform two McLafty rearrangement. But if by on both sides same gamma hydrogen are present, then McLafty will be same, so we will perform it once. But now in this case we have one gamma hydrogen, on other side there is no gamma hydrogen, it is alpha carbon and beta carbon. So we are going to perform we are going to perform McLafty rearrangement on this gamma hydrogen. Now again I have arranged this molecule like this. Now this moiety CH3 CH2 CH3 it is C2H5. I have mentioned it here. This is C2H5. Again this is alpha carbon, it's beta carbon and it's gamma carbon, and again this is gamma hydrogen, and in similar pattern gamma hydrogen will be shifted at this position. After shifting here, radical is formed and oxygen is carrying positive charge. We immediately release oxygen positive charge by shifting double bond toward this position, and again beta cleavage will occur. In similar pattern, beta bond will be cleaved homolytically. As a result, this neutral molecule it is released and we got this carbocation at position 72. So again this aldehyde fragmentation pattern it is following nitrogen rule. Molecular ion have peak at 100 because it contain no nitrogen, and fragments they got peak at odd mass as they have no hydrogen, so no nitrogen. When nitrogen is not present then fragments by single bond fragmentation give peak at odd, and similar pattern Mick-Lafferty will not follow this rule, because in case of Mick-Lafferty, once hydrogen is fragmented, second time by second fragmentation bond is fragmented. Now let's draw again its spectra. Now in case of aldehydes, again molecular ion peak is weak. It's not very strong peak, it is weak peak. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. Molecular ion peak will be at 100. So it will not be a strong peak, it's a weak peak, medium peak. This is at 100. Molecular ion peak. We have drawn molecular ion peak. Now we have to decide base peak. Which will be the most strong peak, base peak. Now here a peak will be obtained at 71 position and it is primary carbocation. In this case it is 57, chain length is short. So short chain length give it stability, but again it is primary carbocation. But in case of this Mick-Lafferty, we got a carbocation which is secondary carbocation. This carbon, it is directly attached with two alkyl groups on this side, on this side. So it is a secondary carbocation. We have discussed earlier that tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, and secondary carbocation is more stable than primary. So here this secondary carbocation is present. So secondary carbocation will be the most stable as compared with these two primary carbocations. So base peak will be at the 72. This is 72. This one at 72. It will be the base peak. Then peak at 71. This is 71 peak, and then peak will be at 57. This is at 57. It will be strong peak. Okay. So base peak with 100% abundance, which its abundance will be the 100%. So this will be the secondary carbocation. It will be the base peak. Molecular ion peak will be the again weak in case of ketones. So this was all about fragmentation pattern of ketones.